Hello there, captains, and welcome back to Naval Action with me, Sorvesteon, as I continue my series on crafting. In this video, I'm going to be looking at shipbuilding. Now, shipbuilding is kind of the whole point of crafting. It's the pinnacle of it all, really, and it's very, very easy. The first thing you need is, well, you just need a blueprint. And the materials, and the labor hours, and the level. Okay, so it's not as easy as it sounds. It's a little bit involved, and there's a little bit more to it than that. But once you get the hang of it, it is definitely pretty easy, and it'll be very, very useful. So I do highly recommend it that everyone get their crafting level up so that when you do need a ship, well, you don't have to depend on other people and you don't have to pay the ridiculous prices that ships go for in the open market. All right, so let's get down to it, shall we? All right, so the first thing you need, if you're going to do shipbuilding, is you need a blueprint. Now, as you level up in the current crafting system, you're going to get a certain number of blueprints just given to you for attaining different crafting levels. So you start off with the blueprints for like a cutter and a lynx and a brig. And as you work your way up, you'll eventually get access to a Cerberus and to a frigate, to a trader's snow, to, trader's lynx and stuff like that, and also to the mid-grade notes and eventually to the high-grade notes. However, for basically all the other ships, you need to get those blueprints somehow. I'm not really going to talk about how you get blueprints because that's really the topic of another video. But suffice it to say that before you can craft a ship, you need the blueprint. And usually, well, hopefully, what I'm actually hoping for in this video is that by building this ship that I've prepared, I'm actually going to get another blueprint from it. So that's one of the ways. You can also get it from breaking down ships. And I think they are still currently tradable. Anyways, I'm not going to talk too much about how you get blueprints or what blueprints give you, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to focus on shipbuilding in this video. So the first thing you need is you need a blueprint. Once you have the blueprint, you can click on it. Yeah, here we go. And, it'll show you basically everything you need to build that ship. All the materials and the level and basically everything else that you need. Now, I don't have the crafting level to craft this Essex. I actually got this blueprint from crafting a frigate, and that's what I'm going to be crafting for you today. I have prepared all the materials to craft an exceptional oak frigate. Now, it took me some time to get the labor hours to process all of the resources into the correct materials. And it also took me some time to save up labor hours to actually craft the ship. About, I'd say, 2.5 to 3 days worth of labor hours just to craft this one exceptional frigate. And I mean, a big chunk of that comes from these mid-grade notes. Like, if I go over and click on that, you'll see, like, it takes silver, right? Well, if I want to craft just 4 of them, look at that, 800 labor hours. And these things, yeah, they give 1 experience per mid-grade note. So I get 4 experience for 800 labor hours. But more importantly, that's 800 labor hours out of my current, pool. Like, there's no way you can craft a frigate in 1 day. And look at all, let's go back to, we're already in shipbuilding. What am I doing? Okay, here we go. Frigate. I mean, look at all these materials. The small and medium carriages, I mean, they are quite a bit of labor hours right there. Look at this. I needed something like 26 of them. Yeah. Look at that, 260 labor hours right there. Small carriage, wait a minute, how many of those did I actually need? 14. And if I go back to manufacturing, the small carriages, well, okay, 75. And it's, yeah, what else did I need lots of? Well, that wasn't the only thing. Look at the amount of planks that I needed. And the oak frame parts. Like if I do, I'm going too fast. I needed 240 oak frame parts. And to make 240, well, look at that. Just to make 48. So, I mean, there's another couple hundred labor hours right there. So, very labor hour intensive to do all this stuff yourself. So this is where, you know, buying labor hours is really useful for shipbuilders, because then you can just save your labor hours to actually like build the ship itself, instead of processing all the resources into, you know, materials. I mean, here, let's take a look at some of the materials. Where's a good one? How about rudder parts? So for rudder parts, look at that. I need iron ingots and oak log. Okay, that one's not so bad. Let's do furnishings instead, because I know I need the furnishings. Silver ingots, gold ingots, and redwood log. Well, to make gold and silver ingots, look at that. Well, there we go. I need coal and silver. And to make gold ingots, I also need coal and gold. And I need, well, I didn't need so much gold and silver really to make the furnishings, but I needed a lot of silver to make the mid-grade notes. So definitely, like, if I had just wanted a basic one, not only would I be able to craft it at a lower level, but I don't have to make that huge investment of labor hours. Then again, you know, like I'm only going to be getting one permanent upgrade and maybe 1 to 2 normal upgrade slots. So, you know, making exceptional ships really changes the amount of labor hours you need. It really increases it by, you know, on the order of, you know, 800 labor hours. And if these were high grade notes, I think it would be even more. So, you know, exceptional ships, that's why they're so expensive, is they require a ton more labor hours and a ton more of these very expensive. Silver is very expensive. It's really in demand right now. And gold, well, not as much, because more people, I think, are buying ships that require mid-grade notes. But also silver is in demand because it's used for making upgrades. So if I wanted to do this, oh no, it's not. Never mind. You know, yes it is. What am I talking about here? I didn't see the mid-grade notes, but here they are down here. So I need mid-grade notes to make upgrades. So silver is really hard to come by. It's really in demand because it's used for making upgrades as well as for building the mid-range ships. So, and the mid-range ships, the frigate in particular, is very popular because it gives you both the Essex blueprint, but it also gives you a chance to get the Ingermanland blueprint. So it's a very popular ship to build. All right, and so yeah, like just all this stuff, like processing all the resources into these different materials took up a huge amount of labor hours. And it's not just the labor hours, it's actually the real world time. Like here, if I go and let's craft some iron ingots. Yeah, craft. Waiting some more. Oh my gosh, I'm still waiting. Yes, okay, thank you. Look how much time it took just to do a batch of 32 iron ingots. And it's not, I mean, it's that way for everything. Like here, if I go to, let's go to weaving. Let's make some canvas rolls. Yeah, let's do the same thing there. Crafting. I'm waiting and waiting for this to finish crafting. Oh, it's still going. There we go. So, like, you can only do a limited number of materials per batch. So you have to end up doing like several batches in order to get enough materials, to craft this kind of ship. I mean, look, I needed 381 planks, and I needed like some of these things took a lot of time, waiting there, doing batch after batch after batch after batch, and having to, just sit there and wait for the game to go through the process of actually crafting it. I'm not sure why it makes you wait, but definitely, like, it becomes very tedious very quickly. The other thing that's really important, or when it comes to crafting ships, is being a good trader. If you're making ships to sell, then obviously you want to get your resources at the cheapest price possible, because that's going to give you more profit off of whatever you sell the ship for. It'll also allow you to be more competitive, to sell the ship at lower prices and still make a certain margin of profit. And really, to get those best prices, you're either going to have to find like really good deals on the market, or you're going to have to know people and basically get good deals from them, or you're going to have to be good at trading. Either way, to accumulate the amount of resources and the variety of resources you need. Like, here, look at this. This is all the stuff that I have just for crafting ships. And I have quite a bit of it. So, just to acquire all this stuff, pine log, stone block, live oak, silver, hemp, gold, the teak log, coal, iron ore, fir log, copper ore, lignum vitae log. What else? Fir and redwood log, and well, basically whatever else you need. Sometimes you need compass wood. Like, as you go up, to produce bigger and bigger and bigger ships, the shopping list for resources gets longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. So, acquiring all this stuff in sufficient quantities to actually do your crafting also takes a considerable amount of time. So shipbuilding is really, a fairly intensive process. It's long, it's tedious. You have to do quite a bit of stuff. That's why I kind of call it the pinnacle of crafting in Naval Action, because you're not going to do anything that requires more work. Crafting upgrades is relatively simple because, here, let's take a look at some of these upgrades. The shopping list really isn't that long, and they don't really require a whole lot of resources, so no problem. And you can build them quite quickly. Whereas, as I've shown you here, building ships, even just a mid-level ship, the frigate's only a mid-level ship, about maybe halfway through around halfway through. It's a 5th rate. So yeah, just around halfway through. It still requires a lot of resources and a lot of time and a lot of preparation. It's a multi-day project. And that's what's going to happen if you're a shipbuilder. You're going to be investing your time, your money, your resources, and your labor hours into multi-day projects, especially once you get to the larger ships. Unless you're buying labor hours from other people, it's going to take you several days, if not maybe up to a week sometimes, depending on, if you have trouble getting certain resources or not, to get everything, process it into the right materials, and to actually save up enough labor hours to build the ship itself, assuming you have the blueprint. And it might take you some time to get the blueprint that you need for the ship that you want by crafting lower level ships. So anyways, we've heard enough of me talk about shipbuilding. Let's click the button and see what we get. All right, here we go. I'm about to build... before I do, I should talk about some of the options. I almost forgot. So there is a couple different wood types that you can use: fir, oak, teak, and live oak. So fir is really meant for speed. Actually, in patch 9.8, they kind of added this idea of thicknesses to the width of the hull. So here, if I go to my LaGrosse Venture, see it has a thickness of 56. And my bow and my stern also have thicknesses. So when you craft your ship, the wood type affects the thickness of the hull as well as kind of the speed of the ship. So fir increases the speed but decreases the thickness of the hull by 10 centimeters. Whereas oak is standard, it doesn't increase or decrease the thickness of the hull at all, and I think now it provides just a very small speed boost as opposed to fir, which provides a larger speed boost. Teak doesn't provide any speed boost at all and adds adds 5 centimeters to the thickness of the hull. Live oak, I believe, actually slows your ship down, but it adds 10 centimeters to the thickness of your hull. So, if you want a fast ship, go with fir. If you want something in between, then oak and teak, depending on whether you want something that's a little bit stronger or something that's a little bit faster. And if you're just going for all-out strength, live oak. When it comes to your trim, you have a couple different options. You can choose random if you don't care. Build strength affects the strength of the ship. Crew space is like putting extra hammocks on your ship. Your ship is going to be able to carry more crew than what it normally would be able to without any additional upgrades. So you could actually make a ship with crew space and put extra hammocks on it, and you'll have a lot of extra crew. Planking is basically armor, so it's going to reduce leaks. It's also going to reduce the chance to penetrate. Might also increase bouncing. Not sure about that one. And then you have rigging quality. So rigging quality affects how fast you can ease and trim your sails and also turn them. So like if you're a Renome and you need to get going really quickly or change speeds really quickly, rigging quality is the thing you want. So for a Renome, fir and rigging quality are very popular because it's going to make the Renome very, very fast. Now I'm going with build strength to make the ship a little bit tougher. In addition to this, you also have a chance to randomly get one other type of trim. So the ship will have oak, build strength, and then either stiffness or speed. Stiffness stops the ship from rolling in the water, and speed obviously just increases the speed and gives you just a stock bonus or a flat bonus to your speed. And one of those two gets added automatically. So now that I've covered that stuff, let's go ahead and craft and let's see what we get. Okay, so I crafted a frigate. I did not get any blueprint. That's unfortunate. Crafting an exceptional frigate. If you craft an exceptional ship, you have a much better chance of getting blueprints, which was what I was hoping for. If you just craft a basic one, I think your chance to get blueprints is actually reduced. So this has been very unfortunate. I was hoping to get an Ingerland blueprint, but woe is me, it was not to be. So on this ship, I happen to get stiffness, which will reduce the roll. Okay, and I happen to get 2 permanent slots and 4 regular slots. So really, I think I got shafted. Let's go to the frigate here. Let's go to equipment. So you can see, like, look at this. I had a chance to get between, I think it was 4 to 5 regular, and I had a chance to get between 2 to 3 permanent upgrade slots. So not only did I not get a blueprint, but I also got basically the crappiest version of this exceptional frigate that I could possibly get. Thanks, Naval Action. Wow. I'm going to have to craft another one. Hopefully I'll get the Ingerland blueprint that way. Anyways, so that is shipbuilding in Naval Action. And this has been Sorvesteon, who is now slightly depressed that he put in 3 days of effort and really didn't get what he was hoping for. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos about naval action. And, and if you know anything about the chance to get blueprints from crafting ships, please leave a comment in the comment section. I'm really interested to know whether crafting exceptionals is actually better for getting blueprints. And I would really like to include that information in my video or my future video on blueprints. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care and happy sailing.